This is chapter 10, Windows Installation. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the three sections. 10.1 Modern Operating System, 10.2 is the disk management, and the 10.3 is about the Windows installation. So we will cover about how to install the Windows 10 operating system, and we will be discussing about the modern operating system also and what is meant by disk management. We'll see what is the modern operating system. We have the different terminologies. The modern operating systems often discovers many things like multi-user operating system, multitasking, multiprocessing, and multi-threading. So these are the important features for the modern operating system which we have in Windows 10 also. So it supports many user, it includes, you can do many tasking, and it has many processor, and you can have many threading concept for a single program. So we have multi-user, multitasking, and multiprocessing, and multi-threading. Whenever your computer boots or whenever your computer starts, it manages the file system. The operating system can support more than one user, task, or the CPU. We have some basic functions of the operating system. Before discussing of these basic functions of the operating systems, I want just to show you what are the things are there in the control panel. Just check it out. So this is the control panel of the Windows 10 operating system, which includes the system and security, which have the user accounts. You can create the user accounts, you can delete the user accounts, you can manage the different types of user, and if you want to connect with internet or network, we have the network and internet, and we have the hardware and sound to manage all your hardware input and output devices. And if you want to manage your programs, we have the programs. If you don't want, you can uninstall it. Okay, and about the display, we have the appearance and personalization, clocks and region, and ease of access. So these are one of the important settings in the control panel which you can manage using the control panel. So that is what we are going to see as a functions of the operating system. The OS manage the interaction between the applications and the hardware, as we saw that what are the different types of hardware, and not only that, we can manage your applications. The OS creates a file structure on the hard disk drive to store the data. So I hope all of you know how to store your data, where you are storing your data, where you are storing your informations like C drive, D drive in your computer. The OS enables the user to interact with the software and the hardware. The OS locates an application and loads it into the RAM of the computer. Whenever you want the applications, it will be loaded into your memory. Just I will show you where is your file management. So these are your different types of drives. You can see C drive and D drive in my laptop. In my D drive, the file, what are the different types of files, and then folders are available. So that is related with the file management. And next we are going to see the different types of operating system. As all of you know that nowadays we are using Windows 10. We got the update. So before we are using XP 95, 98, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. So and then we are now with Windows 10. So usually this Windows 7, it is an upgrade from Windows XP. And then we introduce the tile concept, which you want to have a look very good on desktop, laptop, and mobile devices. We have Windows 8, and then some advanced features in 8.1, and then we are into Windows 10. So this is an update from previous version of Windows like 8.1. It has designed for PC, tablets, embedded services, devices, and Internet of Things and devices. I'll just show you what are the options which you can do it in Windows 10. If you go for the Windows settings, you can see that it supports for the system, it supports many devices like Bluetooth devices, printers, and it supports for your mobile also. You can connect your Android phone as well as the iPhone phone if you want to connect with any network, local network, and with internet you are going, and even for the gaming also. So this is what you can do in the Windows 10. This is just your difference between Windows 10 8.1 and Windows 7. What is the minimum hardware requirements and compatibility with OS? So what is the processor? 1 gigahertz for all the Windows 7 8.1 and 110. And what is the minimum requirement of RAM? If you have, it should have minimum 1 GB of RAM. If you see in my system, it has some 4 GB of RAM. And hard drive space, it should have minimum 16 GB for 32-bit and 20 GB for 64-bit to install your operating systems. We need a graphics card also, as well as for the display, and then internet connection is compulsory, which you need when you are going for updating some important features in the Windows. And next we'll see Windows OS upgrade, how you want to upgrade your OS. Before I had Windows 8.1 and then I updated it to 10. So when you want to upgrade or update your OS, so what you need to do it, the version of OS determines available upgrade options. You may get some upgrade options from the Microsoft. For example, 32-bit operating systems cannot be upgraded to 64-bit operating system. If your operating system is 32-bit, you cannot update to 64-bit operating system. Windows 7 and 8 can be upgraded to Windows 10. So when I bought my laptop, it was Windows 8, so later it has been updated to Windows 10. Whereas this XP and Windows Vista cannot be updated to Windows 10 because it is a 32-bit operating system. How you can do it? You can do it using download Windows 10 website through the Microsoft website. You can download or you can update from your Microsoft website itself. They will give the link to update your operating system. When you are upgrading your operating system, you have to do the data migration. That is, for example, if you had files in 8.1 or 8 or 7, you need to upgrade or migrate to Windows 10. For that, we are going for data migrations. When the new OS installation is needed, user data must be migrated from the old OS to the new OS. So for that, we use the tool user state migration tool from the Microsoft. It is a Microsoft product, user state migration tool. It is a command line utility to simply user state migrations. We have the Windows Easy Transfer also, where you can transfer your files or migrate your files from the old OS to your new OS. So we have data migration, user state migration tool, Windows Easy Transfer, PC Mover, Express. So that's all in 10.1 modern operating system. In modern operating system, mostly we discuss about the Windows 10. What are the functions, what are the features, all those things. If you see here, so we have everything in the tiles concepts. All the programs are listed with A to Z. We have this power shutdown options, we have the control panel, we have the settings, all the options. It looks very good in Windows 10. Now how to install the Windows, we'll see it. For installing the Windows, you need the Windows 10 software. Now where you have to store it, either you can store it in the data storage devices like hard disk or flash, or even from the network also you can able to install this Windows 10. So storage device types, most commonly which we are using is your hard disk, or from your USB you are going to install the Windows 10. When the storage device type has been chosen, it must be prepared to receive the new operating system. It should make sure that no other files are there, only it should be able to store the operating system files. Modern operating systems ship with an installer program. Mostly you will get the CD, or by default when you are buying the laptop it comes with the Windows 10 operating system. Hard drive partitioning. When you want to install your operating system, this concept is very important. You are going to partitioning your hard drive, like when you have your 1 TB hard drive or 2 TB 2 TB hard drive or 500 GB hard drive, whatever it is, you need to do the partitioning. So how you need to do it, and what are the things other, or what are the different methods you can do it. So here we have the master boot record and GUID partition table. Okay, either we call it as GPT. In master boot record, it can have maximum 4 partitions. For example, CD drive, like that you can have maximum 4 partitions, whereas in GPT you can have 128 partitions in Windows. MBR, it supports for 2 TB only. You can use 2 TB of hard disk or storage maximum, whereas here you can have up to gigabyte 9.4 have gigabytes. No partition table backup in MBR method. In GPT you have stores a partition table backup. So these are some of the important difference between MBR and GPT. Partitions and logical drives. We have different types of partitions: primary partitions, active partition, extended partition, basic disk, dynamic disk, formatting, and the logic drive. So what is the use of these primary partitions? A primary partition contains the operating system files, like what you have in the C drive. Mostly your all the operating systems will be there in your primary partitions. It is usually the first partitions. Just check out here in my system. See my C drive, it is called as the local drives, where I have my all my operating systems files, and then I have my personal files here. A logical drive is a section of an extended partition used to separate information for administrative purpose. For your storing your personal informations or some other informations, you can go for the logical drive. And then the basic disk contains partitions such as primary and extended, as well as logical drives which are formatted for data storage. Okay, so these are some of the partitions and the logical drives. What is primary partitions, what is active partition, what is extended partitions, all those things we have it. Next we come to the concept of file system. We have different types of file system. As you know that each whatever the data which you are going to store, it should be in some format or file systems. File systems differ in properties of speed, flexibility, security, size, and more. These are the important features or characteristics which you need to consider for the file systems. So if some FAT32, it may be little slower, NTFS a little faster, like that. Here we have the some common file systems. File allocation table, FAT32, it is used for 32-bit, like when you are using for Windows XP, Vista, all those things, we are going for file allocation table FAT32. And NTFS, almost all new operating system supports NTFS. Extension FAT. CDFS, compact disk file system, it is used for optical disk media. And NFS, network file system. NFS is a network file system, network based file system. You can access the file over the network, so the file system should be in NFS. And the last section is 10.3, installation and boot sequence. When you want to install your operating system, what are the boot sequence are there, how we need to arrange it. As soon as you install it, it will ask for you to for the account creation. It may be of Windows single sign on, you need the Microsoft account to sign in. For the installation, you need to have the Windows 10 offers two types of accounts. One is administrator and another one is the standard user. Administrator accounts have complete control over your computer. Even in your um, college, we see that some things you cannot access it because you don't have the administrative rights. User with this type of account can change settings globally and install the program. Standard user accounts have limited control over your computer. So what are the two types of user? Administrator and standard user. Once your Windows installation is over, when you are going to finalize the installation, Windows Update and Device Manager. Windows Update, if there is any update is available, you can update for the Windows, and we can see what are the different types of devices are there using your Device Manager system. After installation, verify that all hardware is correctly installed or installed correctly, whatever it is. So you can see what are the different types of hardwares or devices are available in your system, and if it is compatible with the software or not. Disk cloning. Disk cloning is one of the important concept when you want to go for multiple computers, want to install the operating system. Installing an OS on multiple computer takes time. So what we'll be doing is we'll take one complete operating system and we make a clone of that, and we'll use that for operating system to install on the other system in order to save the time. After the OS is installed in the base computer, a specific program is used to duplicate all the information on its disk sector by sector to another disk. So it is like cloning, same like what you have in one system will be there in another system. What are the other installation methods are used? How we can install it? Either you can go for network installation or image based internal partition installation or other types of custom installation. So these are the different types of installations or several different types of custom installations which you can do it. Recovery partitions. When you see your operating system or drives, you will have one recovery partitions. Almost all operating system supports it. Some Windows computers contains a section of the disk that is inaccessible to the user, where you cannot access it. Even sometimes it is not visible to the user. This partition is called as a recovery partition, contains an image that can be used to restore the computer to its original configurations. Whenever you have some problem with your operating system, you can go for the recovery partitions and bring back to your original configuration. Boot sequence. Windows boot sequence, in which order you want the operating system to boot from the devices. After power on self test, post is power on self test. As soon as you power on, all the devices is working fine. The BIOS locates and read the configuration settings stored in the CMOS memory. We have the boot devices. The first boot device may be either from the CD or from the hard disk or from your network or from your USB. Okay, so if your operating system is in CD, it will boot from your CD. Once all the installation is over, we will change the boot device to your hard disk. The boot device priority is the order in which devices are checked to locate the bootable partitions from where you can start your operating system. So that is what Windows boot sequence is. You can see here the first boot device, the second boot device. The first boot device is CD or DVD is given. The second boot device is your hard disk SATA. And here we come with Windows 7 startup modes. What are the different types of startup modes are available in Windows 7? We have safe mode. We have safe mode with networking, safe mode with command prompt, last known good configurations. Sometimes when you have the problem with your Windows, we can see these options: safe mode, you want to log in with your safe mode, or safe mode with networking, or safe mode with command prompt, or last known good configurations, how our system has worked before. Well, so that is known as last known good configurations. And in Windows 8 and Windows 10 startup modes, we have the different types of startup modes. Since the Windows 10 boot very quickly than the Windows 7, so you have to make it fast. You have to use F8 to access startup settings. This is called as the startup settings from F1 to F8. Each key has some own functions. F1 is for enable debugging, enable boot logging, enable low resolution video, enable safe mode, up to disable automatic restart after failure. Okay, so if you want to go for more options, you can press F10. As soon as you start your operating system, you need to press the function key F8. Okay, F8 to go to your startup settings. These are the different types of startup settings in Windows 8 and Windows 10. So that's all about this chapter 10, Windows installation.